Hello, dear friends, and welcoming you to this special episode in this podcast in which we have Mr. Subodh Korde. Just to tell you a little bit about him, Mr. Korde is an advisor in manufacturing excellence. He is a well known lean manufacturing coach. Earlier, he has been the MD of Mubea India, which is a German company, and he is by qualification a bachelor of engineering from the very popular college that is COEP, College of Engineering, Pune, which is very difficult to get through, get an admission there. And he also has a diploma in finance. He has attended the advanced leadership and management program from the University of Oxford. So it's our pleasure and it's a blessing to have such kind of a personality who is today going to throw a lot of light on the industry insights that will help training professionals into getting more effective so that they can help the industry grow to the next level. So once again, a very warm welcome, Mr. Subodh Korde.
Thank you, Elvis.
Yes, I remember meeting you. I guess I had once visited your training setup, right, at Pune?
Yes,
Yeah, so I
that
guess
is,
there would be a lot of more developments there now.
yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Mr. Kode, we would like to know a little bit about your journey. Like, how did you begin into your professional journey, basically?
Okay. So I started my professional journey in 1982,
Mm-hmm.
where I got selected in a company called Perfect Circle in the college campus
Okay.
process. So that this company was in Nasik,
Uh-huh.
and I started as a maintenance trainee engineer.
Okay. Okay.
So when maintenance trainee engineer, I was in maintenance department for full only in maintenance department for a decade, that is around 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then the additional responsibility was given to me for the continuous improvement and productivity improvement,
Okay.
automation.
Okay.
So for 14 years, I was into all this maintenance and maintenance related things. Then I moved into the manufacturing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this work, particularly training, is a very, you can say, a need to be a very integral part of the journey of every person.
Mm-hmm.
See, for example, with the maintenance department as an electrical engineer, you have to learn hydraulics. As a maintenance, you need hydraulics, you need to have electronics, you need automation, you need to have programming. So without training, it is not possible. So the company sponsored my training into L&T, Siemens,
Mm-hmm.
Vickers-Perry, those many companies. And then I learned all that
Okay.
and then progress into career. So after handling production in foundry, then I
Mm-hmm.
was again shifted or transferred to at a higher level to the other division.
Okay.
Okay. And there the entire the different kind of machines and it was the machining centers. It's a very high precision part as piston ring.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was promoted as a divisional head.
Okay. Okay.
In that period, I went through a very unique program of Government of India, which we will discuss more in coming questions.
Okay. Okay.
But the name of that program was Visionary Leader for Manufacturing.
Oh,
This is the Government of India initiative started by Dr. Abdul Kalam,
okay.
and I was lucky to be selected in the first batch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then that particular program changed my entire, you can say, approach to the company, to people, and also to my own life as such.
Okay. Okay.
We will discuss about it after some time.
Sure,
And
sure.
then after doing a successful implementation of whatever I learned in that program, I
Mm-hmm.
was promoted as a head of the company.
Okay.
And then we did a good job. We got an award from government of Maharashtra. I got
Mm-hmm.
an award from
Wow.
the Anand Group top leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was picked up by this German company, which was in um, some kind of a, you can say, growth pain, I would say.
Uh-huh.
And so I came there as a CEO and then promoted as MD.
Okay.
So training is very, very important because nobody comes up with all the knowledge.
Right.
Everybody has to learn something, and as a trainer also, you learn something from the sessions. So
Correct.
this is my journey. So I would say that as a maintenance trainee engineer to MD of an international company, this itself is a, I would say, a great journey with lot of zigzag path.
Absolutely. So, Mr. Korde, your journey is truly very inspiring. How you yourself have grown and the various trainings that you have gone under. So, what would you advise? What would be piece of your advice to the trainers? Like, how can they contribute in the growth of a business?
See, it is very simple.
Uh-huh.
Um, from where the training start. So the training basically starts with the gap, identified
Right.
gap.
Mm-hmm.
For a person, for any personality or a professional, everybody is specialist in something.
Right.
So every person has lot of strengths
Mm-hmm.
and maybe some area of improvement. So what is his next level?
Mm-hmm.
Whether he is okay today for the next level, or you want to make him okay tomorrow for the next level because he is not okay today.
Mm-hmm.
He is not suitable today. So
Right.
if you want to enhance certain skills into that person or professional, the training identification is found out by the seniors as well as from the HR department. And that
Right.
is why the training is to be imparted to that professional.
Okay.
This is the key. If this is not there, then it will be just like training. You are training 20 people, the same thing, it is being
Mm-hmm.
trained. So the person may or may not need it at that point of time. It is always useful. Training is
Right.
always useful. But is it needed at that point of time is the very important point, that today the training is required, it is imparted, it is used and it gives result.
Okay.
So this is very important.
So Mr. Korde, like most there is a conversation that goes on in the industry कि ट्रेनिंग तो कर लेते हैं हम पर ट्रेनिंग से कुछ होता नहीं है and it is just a waste of time at times. So what do you think, like how can this understanding be overcome? What do trainers, like what is the ownership that trainers need to take in order that such a kind of a conversation does not continue?
Um, yes, this conversation is there in the industry because training is taken as a general thing.
Mm-hmm.
Training is never general.
Right.
Okay, so if you consider training as a part of people development,
Mm-hmm.
it is a small part of people development, but it is a very important part of people development.
Correct.
If the organization is very keen to
Mm-hmm.
develop people to the next level,
Mm-hmm.
then the team will be taking company to the next level, and that is how the businesses also will grow, and the culture of the organization also will improve because it is going through personal development, people development path.
Mm-hmm.
So one has to be very important to note here is every trainer must understand what is the purpose of that particular session.
Right.
So if that purpose is filled, then it is useful or a value addition to the people who are attending those kind of training. This is
Correct.
point number one.
Mm-hmm.
Point number two, how the training is conducted.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, is it only a lecture? Is it through a discussion, or is it through a PowerPoint presentation, or it is conducted like a workshop?
Mm-hmm.
Is it conducted like a experimental learning?
Right.
right? That means something has to do it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There is a game. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so if it is done in that way,
Mm-hmm.
or if it is actually playing a game in a ground,
Right.
so those all thing. So what is that training program is actually imparting the awareness of that particular concept which you want to give them.
Got it.
So this is basically,
Mm-hmm.
I would say that if you use hands, eyes and ears during the training at the same time, then the learning is faster and it retains. Because as you know, the retainer retaining a training concept
Mm-hmm.
is not only through ears or not only through a PowerPoint presentation. It is if you do something with that concept,
Right.
then the training will be retained and it will be used.
Exactly.
Uh, yeah, so there is absolutely, I would say training is it is not at all a waste.
Mm-hmm.
It is not for khana purti.
Mm-hmm.
Just to complete a KRA of HR department training is given. It is not at all like that. I have
Mm-hmm.
seen people trained and again used and trained from a operator level to a general manager level. It is possible only through training.
Wow. Yeah, this transition can happen only through training.
Yes.
Wonderful. Yes, yes. But Mr. Kode, like I think this conversation is somewhere emerging from the stakeholders saying that ट्रेनिंग तो हो गया सबको अच्छा लगा और आफ्टर ट्रेनिंग मोस्टली एवरीवन इज वेरी हैप्पी एंड दे आर अप्रिशिएटिव बट देन दे से उस पे आरओआई आप हमें टेंजिबल आरओआईज बताओ कि व्हाट इज अ टेंजिबल आरओआई हाउ शुड द ट्रेनर्स एड्रेस दिस
See, basically, if there is a technical training
हाँ हाँ
or a behavioral training,
हम्म
so ROI is in some companies they are calculated. In some companies, it is one-way training is the concept.
ओके
That means the training is given and the ROI will come automatic.
ओके
Okay, now for example, I mentioned about visionary leadership for manufacturing.
हम्म
Okay, so now this particular training is not related to technology, is not related to engineering, it is not related to administration. It is different. It is related to the very unique tools
हम्म
which Toyota company developed in Toyota manufacturing system in Japan.
ओके
So there is a toolkit of Japanese.
हाँ हाँ
Okay, so you will be very much surprised to know if I can explain you one or two tools. One
हम्म
of the first tool is uh, observation skill.
ओके
Okay, now the observation skill, so people will say उसमें क्या है वो तो हम तो रोज देखते हैं. But then you link what you see and
हम्म
what is the result of the company.
ओके
Okay, now for example, if you go in a factory or a workplace which is not very clean, for example,
हम्म
okay, now so you can relate this to this company may have um, less score in housekeeping, less score in customer audit.
हम्म
So there is a very big link,
हम्म
right? So these kind of tools, there is a big toolkit, and these kind of tools were taught actually.
ओके
The another tool is it is a you can say spaghetti diagram is a tool.
ओके
Okay, now spaghetti, you know the spaghetti. Okay, so it
राइट
is zigzag, and
यस यस
you put the spaghetti in a dish, but if you make a linear, then it will run into meters,
करेक्ट
right? But the same thing happens in the industry. The product or the people, they actually move the product in spaghetti way.
ओके
Okay, now this is again how to see things differently.
हम्म
So this particular, if you make the length of the travel of a part less, then company save money. That is ROI.
ओके राइट
Okay, now if you see there is lot of oil leakage, coolant leakage, etc., 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 and if you stop that, it is saving money every day. It is ROI.
Correct.
Okay,
Right.
if you see a red bin full of parts, and if
Mm-hmm.
you make it empty red bin,
Mm-hmm.
it is saving money to the organization. It is ROI.
Right.
So the company should understand this,
Mm-hmm.
that ROI comes from the war against waste.
Wow. The war against waste.
Yes, so that is ROI.
Great.
And the attitude is taught in the training sessions, like,
Mm-hmm.
the mental frame
Mm-hmm.
or the technical part. If there is a technical training, then the technical training has to be used, the attitudinal training has to be used, the behavior positiveness has to be used day in and day out. Then the ROI
Mm-hmm.
will automatically come, and it, believe me, it comes 10 times.
Right. Right.
But if you look at that way, if there is no electricity button that if you give training and push the button on that day, and then the light will burn and the money will start pouring in from top, it is not like that. Training is not like that. If
Right.
somebody is considering it like this, then it is, I would say, incorrect.
Right. It's a gradual process, right? The ROI comes gradually.
Yes. One more thing, ROI can be actually administered
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
by post-training projects.
Okay.
So if I am sent for a particular training session, then
Mm-hmm.
I am asked to do two projects after the training is completed
Oh, okay.
using the tools of the company. That is what I always used. I put training as a very big force
Uh-huh.
for improvement.
Okay. So
Then
do
the
you
person
mean do
will
you
do.
mean follow-up sessions?
No, no, no. It is not related to trainer.
Okay.
It is not at all related to trainer.
Okay.
Trainer has done a good job by
Uh-huh.
imparting something to the people participating in the training program.
Okay.
The company or the HR person or the divisional head or somebody from top management takes care that, okay, the person, people, all people who attend training
Mm-hmm.
must complete one or two projects.
Okay.
If those projects are done, you save money.
Okay.
It is part of ROI.
Wow. That's a wonderful way. It's like
Yeah,
giving
it is very
assignment,
easy.
right?
Yes, it
Great.
is a task.
Based on the learnings of the training.
Yes, exactly.
Wow. That's a great way of showing some tangible
See,
results to the client.
let it be even a communication training.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Right.
I'm giving you a very wonderful example.
Uh-huh.
If it is a communication training, you always find that there are very smart and good people in the companies
Mm-hmm.
who can communicate very nicely, who can explain things very nicely. But there are some very talented people who cannot communicate very nicely.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
for them, you give a training related to communication, for example.
Got it.
Okay, then you build a platform that somebody or everybody can come on a particular day and give a lecture for 5 minutes on anything he or she likes,
Mm-hmm. Right.
right? So the teamwork and the communication skill all the entire team improves if you follow this rule for 90 days, that is 12 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So people will come talk about something which they like. So if there is a fear factor, it goes away.
Right.
If there is a English Hindi problem, it goes away.
Right.
Because if he is going to talk tomorrow, he will prepare something today.
Correct.
So that is how training can be used in a very nice way, and the teamwork of the company improves through a ordinary communication skill or communication related training.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If it is technical training, then actually it is mathematics. For
Right.
example, if it is a 7QC tool,
Mm-hmm.
is the name of the training program.
Mm-hmm.
Then you apply the training program into the shop floor or quality department.
Right.
So they reduce scrap, they
Uh-huh.
reduce cost of poor quality, that is saving. that goes into ROI.
Right, right. So Mr. Korde, like looking at the scenario of AI and how technology is advancing, like you now have a very vast range, like you have been in the industry for quite so many years. So what changes do you see that are taking place in training, in the training industry?
See, basically, it is going more and more online,
Right.
and uh, that is why I would say that it is not very effective.
Uh-huh.
The
Like
best,
the reason?
the best way of training is
Mm-hmm.
hybrid.
Right.
So hybrid means it is online plus
Offline.
actual assessment or
Okay.
actual assessment of your businesses and doing something with your own
Mm-hmm.
hand or in your workplace.
Mm-hmm.
If you do not connect karma bhumi
Mm-hmm.
with the post training assessment or assignments or tasks or
Mm-hmm.
projects,
Mm-hmm.
it will not give the benefit in terms of money.
Exactly. Exactly.
So this is must.
Mm-hmm.
People are certified on online courses, and then okay, they understand the thing. I'm
Right.
not saying that okay, they are certified because they write an exam.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to put here a very important point is there is a difference between knowledge bank and a skill bank.
Right.
The knowledge can be given online, knowledge can be brought in from your book
Mm-hmm.
or your own self study.
Mm-hmm.
There is huge material available on internet,
Mm-hmm.
so you can get knowledge.
Right.
Okay, but are you skilled? If I give you a lecture of how to do a soldering of a wire and an electronic component, you will
Mhm.
understand the theory
Right.
part. But
Right.
if I give you a solder gun and a part and a copper wire and ask you to do soldering, you may not do it
So this would be
just because you know
pertaining more
theory.
to technical trainings.
No, no, no. It is not technical training. It can be even software. Unless and until you have a practical aspect it.
Correct.
Karma Bhumi is not only technical. Karma Bhumi can be anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the practical aspect has to be there with theoretical aspect.
Correct. So basically, it's about knowledge should get implemented, right? Like
Knowledge should get converted into skill by doing
application.
practice. By practice.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
For example, a pilot training cannot be given only on theoretical thing.
Right. Right.
So if you are trained and you understand everything, you pass a written test, and then the keys are given to you.
Right. There should be some flying hours. There should be
Right. So
not.
that is my point.
Got it. Got
The
it.
practical aspect or a karma bhumi of any kind has
Mm-hmm.
to be there. If you do not do practice of the theory which you have learned,
Right.
then you cannot be skilled. If you are skilled, then you will use it, and then you can actually give it to somebody else also.
So, Mr. Korde, according to you, like what are the three most important skills any trainer should have?
uh, the trainer should I would say he or she should be able to make a learning atmosphere during training.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That
Okay.
is number one.
Right.
So there is a enjoyment to the participants that yes, they were doing something great and it is they are learning.
Mm-hmm.
That is number one. Number two, it should be divided into small group activity.
Right.
So to administer that, he or she should have a skill
Mm-hmm.
to to pull talent from the group.
Right.
Okay, it is the training should not be only spoon feeding or giving my point of view to the participants.
Basically, they should be able to facilitate it, right?
Yes, it should be dual. or you can say multiple ways. There
Wow.
should be cross learning.
Exactly.
And the third one is the conclusion has to be with what next the participants are going to do with this training.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is very important and which is often not done.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
Right.
trainer is detached, but then they are committed to do something in the when they go back to their own workplace.
Right. And it would be a good idea to have a follow-up visit and check how the trainees are faring and what are the
Um,
challenges they face.
See, it is not followed that way, but it is the trainers can give a I would say opportunity to give answer to the questions or to solve the doubts if they come across any difficult situation for implementation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they must be available. The trainers must be available to solve the problems if they particularly want to implement certain things.
Right. Right.
So these are the three things.
So, Mr. Korde, coming to the next question, like I do work very closely with the trainers, and one thing that I observe, I notice not all, but yes, quite many. Trainers are very well equipped with the different concepts, with theories and models, and different kinds of modules are already ready. But one thing that I notice is lacking the understanding of the business. So where does that training exactly fit into the business? So what advice would you give? Like how should trainers overcome this?
It is very simple.
Mhm.
They should understand the flow of money.
Okay.
So what does the business do? Any kind of business do?
Hmm.
They do conversion of raw material into something which is usable as a product.
Right.
So it can be anything. It can be software, it can be hardware, it can be electronics, it can be even food.
Correct. Correct.
So how the money or the raw material is converted at a particular cost
Hmm.
and the product is sold at a particular price.
Okay.
So how these things happen? That is the understanding he or she should have.
So basically, they should try to understand the entire operations of.
No, no, no. They should understand value stream.
Okay.
Value is money.
Hmm.
Stream is river.
Right.
पैसे की नदी.
Correct.
That's it. So river of money. How does money get transferred from A to B, B to C, C to E?
But how would they get like when they go to meet a stakeholder, they're called for a client meeting. Would this data be given to them? Would it be revealed to them that is?
No, no, no. It is not that difficult, Elvis. It is
Uh-huh.
very easy.
Uh-huh.
So if you observe nicely any business,
Uh-huh.
you will understand this. Just because they don't peep into that money part,
Okay.
they are not. They can learn it in a day.
So maybe they can ask the right questions in the conversations, right? That would give them that
नहीं
information.
नहीं ये तो सेल्फ स्टडी करके rather they will go to the client meeting and then they can explain that we can save your money in this way.
Right.
So their program is sold there.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
See, the trainer should learn the language of the owners, the
Right.
language of top management,
Right.
and they understand only two things: whether this training program can give me money back
Exactly.
or can it give something better to my customer. Then I am interested in this training, otherwise not. Otherwise, it is a tick mark.
Perfect.
Sorry, I am using a very
Yes.
raw
Yes.
word.
Exactly. Exactly. That is the reality because that is what attracts the business owner. Else, it's a waste of money. Training is a waste of money.
No, no, I am saying it is not at all a waste of money.
Yeah. It does not
I
give
have built my entire career because of training.
right. So, Mr. Subodh, we would like to know a little more about your setup. Like, I'm a little curious to know because I guess I visited this before the lockdown.
Okay.
Would like to know like what all activities happen there and what all happens there in your setup.
See, basically, let me tell you, I told you that this program VLFM changed my life.
Okay.
Okay. So then I learned that I used it for my company Perfect Circle in Nasik.
Okay.
We released 100,000 square feet, that is one entire building,
Mm-hmm.
by doing by using the tools,
Okay.
by drawing spaghetti diagram in the company with only pencil and paper and eraser,
Oh,
no cost.
okay.
Okay, so that is how I became popular.
Mm-hmm.
I got promoted as a head of the company.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got a job in a German company. I came to Pune,
Right.
did the same for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So turn around the company,
Mm-hmm.
and then I thought that these tools need to be given to the people who do not have access.
Right.
See, typically in India, what happens is there are joint venture companies.
Mm-hmm.
So there is always a big brother or father sitting somewhere in Europe, America, UK, Japan,
Right. Right.
dictating terms to use this process that way, this process this way, and so on.
Correct.
What about SMEs who do not have connection directly with the joint venture
Mm-hmm.
partners? They do not have.
Right.
So then at the age 55, I came out of these two punch one lunch.
Okay.
Okay. And started a consulting firm.
Right.
And there is no prescribed course.
Okay.
So what I do is whatever all my clients, um, I study their businesses, study their pains,
Mm-hmm.
design solutions for it, train those people in my classroom, and if they have a classroom in their company, in their classroom.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And then implement. So
Mm-hmm.
it is 30-70. Basically, it is 30% concept and 70% Gamba or Karma Bhumi.
Okay. Okay.
So there is a weekly touch. That is
Mm-hmm.
what I do.
Mm-hmm. So, Mr. Korde, if some of our trainers would like to know about this tool, Spaghetti, if they would like to explore, go a little more deeper in this, so how can they do that?
See, I have a program called Root to Fruit.
Okay.
So root to fruit means ABCD to money. Fruit is money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So where many things are explained.
Okay.
So they can actually learn the see the cross linking of training. Understanding must be there for all the trainers.
Okay.
I often see that the trainers are very good in their own subject,
Right.
but they are not able to connect with the owner's language
Right. Exactly.
or top management language.
Exactly.
So that understanding we can give.
Perfect. Perfect.
The second activity, second part of activity which I do is there are many people who feel that their career is
Mm-hmm.
stuck up at one point and they are not moving ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So I take a course or take a mentoring sessions,
Mm-hmm.
consecutive mentoring sessions, and pull them out of the situation, and then they start moving ahead.
Okay. Okay.
This
Great.
is very important, and then I've done it for many people, many owners, many top management people, also from students or
Mm-hmm.
low level people also.
Okay.
So
So,
this is a regular activity every week I do.
okay, this happens every week.
Uh, yes, the weekly cycle is the most important thing in life.
Right. Right.
Whatever you want to do, you review every week.
Okay. Okay.
That helps a lot.
Right. So, Mr. Korde, where is this setup of yours exactly? I forget where I had visited you. So, where
It
is
is in Wakad,
Wakad? Okay,
Pune.
Pune, Wakad. Anyways, the details will still be there in the description of this video. So anyone who's watching this video would like this podcast, would like to get in touch with Mr. Korde or would like to inquire about the services, how it could help them, any industry, any professional. So the details will be there in the description of this podcast. So in case you are inquisitive, you're curious to grow, you're hungry to grow, you want to do something different, you want to move to the next level, Mr. Kode will always be there available for you to give his valuable services. So, on a very lighter note, Mr. Kode would like to ask some funny moments in your entire career when it came to training,
Uh, you know, there is a game which actually takes care of the trust factor
right?
on each other,
Uh-huh. The
right?
trust,
So
are you saying mentioning the trust fall?
no. I am mentioning the blindfold.
Okay, okay. Uh-huh.
Okay, so you and me are not in good terms, and you are taking me blindfolded to somewhere,
Okay, okay.
and the cloth which is tied to my eyes
Mm-hmm.
gets loose. So that is the funny moment that there is.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
it is basically, I do not trust you,
Right, right.
and then because of the you can say the mentality or my movements or whatever, it gets loosened, and I can see what where you are trying to take me.
Got it, got it, got it.
So not really many funny moments that way.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Anything strange that happened? Maybe between you and your client, which was unexpected.
mm, See, when I started this as a trainer or as a coach in 2016.
Uh-huh.
So when I approached a company in Pune, they were doing great, more than 200 crores business.
Okay.
And when we talked about the same way we talked about these tools, which
Mhm.
are not really known to people,
Right.
like spaghetti diagram and art of observing,
Mm-hmm.
fishball,
Right.
etc., etc. So the strange thing, it is not strange, but it is challenging.
Mm-hmm.
That is okay. I have the worst case in with me. So you solve the worst case, then probably you will. Then we can take more projects.
Okay. Okay.
So people do not believe you on the first place, but they want to test you.
But do you think having some testimonials of previous clients would
No,
that?
that was the first client, na?
Okay. Okay. The first client. Okay.
After I came out of the job,
Uh-huh. Okay.
so
Okay.
that was my first client.
Got it. Got it. So, Mr. Kode, like there is one more challenge that I would like you to throw some light on it, because I speak to trainers quite often, almost every day. And one query that comes out very clearly is they have got a client inquiry. They are almost going to get the project, and they are asked for a proposal, and they face a lot of dilemma and conflict when it comes to pricing. What should I price? What is the right price? How should
Mm.
I handle this?
It is very simple.
Mm-hmm.
There are only two types of trainers.
Mm-hmm.
One is they do training in masses
Okay.
where the price is low.
Uh-huh.
So if you want to train 100 people
Mm-hmm.
into four batches of 25 each,
Mm-hmm.
then the price can be per piece, per person.
Right.
Okay, there you are responsible for delivering something
Mm-hmm.
and you get the money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The
Right.
second part of people is they say we are not trainers, we are coach.
Okay.
We ensure that the tools are used on your company,
Right.
and there the price is high.
Right. Because this is more result driven.
Yes, exactly.
Great. And so, Mr. Kode, connected to this, this reminds me to ask you also about another challenge that most of the training professionals are facing is how do we build a network? How do we, have people prospects? How do we get prospects? How do we get that connects in the industry? How do we reach to these MDs? How do we reach to the actual stakeholders like business owners? What would you recommend apart from using technology?
See, basically there are two things.
Mm-hmm.
One is when you do a program
Mm-hmm.
or where you complete a training,
Right.
you probably take a very quick response from the participants.
Mm-hmm.
What do they feel about this program?
Right.
Okay. Every trainer must have a website.
Okay.
That is almost compulsory. You
Right.
post your good points about the training done in the website.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is one.
Right.
The second one is you often get a lot of exhibitions. You get plenty of data. These are so many companies are there in Pune.
Right.
So many German companies are there. So many Japanese companies are there. So many Indian companies are there. These is the small scale companies are there. Medium scale companies are there. So you probably write to them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And try and get the HR Connect.
Okay.
Now, HR Connect it can be through HR, there are many HR groups. There is a collective data available of HR.
Mm-hmm.
So in that you put your mm, strong points.
Right.
Second one is you should all trainers should make a own profile, very very good own profile.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now it can be in PowerPoint or it can be in Word file. It should not be more than 2 pages.
Mm-hmm.
If it is in 1 page, it is good. But
Right.
if it is in 2 pages, is fine. One and a half page is also okay.
Mhm.
So that should be circulated in to all HR.
Mm-hmm.
The second is what is your punchline?
Mm-hmm.
So we at ACAM consultant, we say whatever is your challenge, it is accepted by us.
Okay.
We solve all your challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So is it not attractive?
Yes, definitely.
So if you are owner of a company, you said, "अरे यार, try करते हैं. Let us try."
Correct.
So that is how the first interaction will take place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Perfect.
So that's it. Nothing special you should do.
Right. Great, great, Mr. Korde. It was fantastic talking to you, and I hope any viewer who's listening, who is watching this podcast, who will be watching this podcast, will be getting a lot of rich insights. And in case you want to get in touch with Mr. Korde, if you want to avail of any of his services, you are a company, you are an individual, please do check the description of this podcast. So once again, a very big thanks, Mr. Korde, and hope to meet you soon again in person.
Uh, it is my pleasure. One last point is
Mhm.
the trainer must treat training as a tool for people development. Every person who is attending the training should get a feel that you added value to them, which is useful in the organization and his or her career.
Right.
That connection, if you can maintain in your program,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
then it is done. It will be a mouth publicity for one to one, and people will definitely contact you.
Right.
So
Right.
thank you very much. Thank you, Elvis,
Thank you.
for
Thank you,
giving
Mr.
giving
Korde.
this
Once again,
opportunity.
very big thanks. and we shall meet soon.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you.
you.